That worked? I don't know if that worked or not. We're gonna find out. If it did, oh, I'm not even on the right screen. If it did, shout out Drake Buckers, the newest sub. I didn't fix the. Oh yeah, I didn't fix the good old fashioned. Oh, I need to move. Let me see if that worked. Hold up. Hold on. Did it work? I'm live. Hold up. There we go. Alrighty. Good stuff. Good stuff. Let's try. Hold on. Can I? Brian broken again. Hold up. Whatever. Alrighty, dude. Last night we had some games. We had some freaking games last night, dude. We had some games. We had some really fun games. Clippers Nuggets ended at like 11:30 almost, but 1 point game came down to it. Clippers pulled it out, man. We had 4, 6, 8, 10 games last night, so a third of the league play last night. A lot of movement in the standings. Maybe not movement, but a lot of development in the standings, which is really always fun to see. Oh no, there was some movement. There was definitely some movement. For show. Let's just take a look at it, bro. Just sit back here, don't I? How's everybody doing this morning, man? Good morning. It is actively snowing at my house. Tamani Kamara. Tamani Kamara Glazer. Oh, man. Hey, we're going to talk about the Blazers. What'd you miss? You didn't really miss much except for the Clippers passing the Blazers in the standings. I'm a Clippers fan if you're new here. So that's what I'm hyped about. The Blazers, yeah, now the Clippers are on top, and the Blazers are half a game back from the Clippers because the Clippers beat the Nuggets last night, boy. Wow, that was a crazy game. If you didn't see that, you missed out, man. Go watch those highlights. It was a time last night, especially because they had Jokic. And last time we played Jokic in LA, he had like 55 on us. So that definitely didn't that was not fun. Held him to 17 points. He shot 9 for 22. Like it wasn't great. That'd be hilarious. Just every time. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Nuggets really didn't play well. Jokic at 22. Julian Strawther had me worried for a second because he shot 10 or 6 for 10 from 3. And he was lighting us up there for a sec. It was pretty intense. But the big story of last night was my boy Ben Mathurin. If you don't like Ben Mathurin, dude, after watching like what he did in the playoffs, or no, not even in the playoffs, in the finals last year, this guy is a straight bucket, dude. He had 38 points off the bench last night in his home debut. Just an unreal performance. 12 for 22 from the field, 2 for 6 from 3. Had 13 free throws, made 12 of them, so not terrible. But the rest of the Clippers played like okay, quiet. 23, John Collins 11. The rest of the squad kind of needs to fill out a little bit. We definitely needed some more help. Like we definitely needed Ben Mathurin there because D Jones had a good game, but like Jordan Miller and Kobe Sanders didn't have a good game. Yeah. What's that? Tamani Kamara Glazer. Yeah, he had 38 off the bench. He came into the game. Yeah, they should start him. I mean, we're starting Chris Dunn and D Jones right now. It was really nice. I will say it was really nice watching him. We have a really good ball handler, like a very, very solid ball handler outside of Kawhi Leonard. I mean, it's just impressive that in a game where, okay, Ivica Zubac is the Jokic stopper, potentially. He is one of the, no, he's not is. He is one of, or no, sorry, I keep messing it up. He is the best, statistically, the best defender of Nikola Jokic. I would know that because I'm a Clippers fan. So not having him or Kawhi Leonard or James Harden and trading them and still winning this game is really impressive. Now, the Nuggets didn't have Aaron Gordon or Peyton Watson, kind of a big deal for him. But, just an unreal performance from Ben Mathurin off the bench. 12 for 22. That's really good efficiency. He was shooting. He just looked impressive. He looked confident. He came in. He was like, I'm going to get buckets. We started Brook Lopez. He had 8 points, and he actually had a clutch block at the end. He blocked Jokic at the very end, which was massive. Jordan Miller didn't really get a whole ton here because Ben Mathurin was going stupid. Kobe Sanders didn't really get in the game. Did he get in the game at all? I guess not. I thought I saw him in the game. But yeah, Clippers have a pretty good, and we're still getting Darius Garland back. So that's what I'm excited about. I think that we might keep Ben Mathurin off the bench. Hopefully not. I think that he's really good. I think he's way good enough we can go Darius Garland. It is nice to have Darius Garland and start Chris Dunn because that defense is really nice. And then we can have Ben Mathurin. He's going to go for 38 anyways. It doesn't really matter if he's starting and if he's okay with that role. He's playing more minutes than, the only guy he played the most minutes on the team outside of Darius Jones Jr. They tied. So the starting thing is kind of like whatever. I don't know. I think it's the most balanced lineup is probably going to be Darius Garland instead of Derrick Jones, and then you have Chris Dunn there for the defense. Then Kawhi at the 3, Collins the 4, Lopez the 5. Lopez the 5 has been good. I think we're 10-2 with Lopez in the starting lineup this season. So not a terrible thing. We got kind of put our young bigs kind of got put in the blender by Jokic last night. They got a ton of fouls. 3 and 4 fouls for Isaiah Jackson and Yannick, respectively. So that was kind of hilarious to watch them just kind of, and so Brook had to play more minutes. Nico was cool. D. Jones had a good game. So overall, the Clippers look pretty good. Let's do action. Go to standings. So the Clippers moved up to 9th, and then with the Warriors losing last night, it moves to the Warriors are only a game and a half ahead of the Clippers for the 8th seed. And Steph Curry's being reevaluated in 10 days from what I heard last. So that'll be really fun to see. No offense, I thought the Clippers were going to be worse after trading their second and third best players. Yeah. Well, it's funny you say second and third best players because at some point, obviously Kawhi's been going nuclear recently, but James Harden is probably at some points the best player on the team, especially last season. And he was the All-Star last season. Kawhi has definitely been going crazy this year. But yeah, definitely. I thought we were going to be bad too, but Darius Garland is supposed to come back. And let's look at this. Darius Garland, any update on him? Week to week? Yeah, for a team that lost James Harden and Zubats, hopefully we get that top 5 pick. Like that pick reveals itself to us till we get the 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9 pick. But I think the Pacers did win last night. Or the Pacers, well, they did technically win what they want to do. Yeah, they lost last night, so they're back in the top 3 odds because they lost to the Wizards. And so that dang it. So I'm hate watching the Pacers right now, kind of. Or no, I'm not hate watching. I'm watching them. I want them to win as many games as possible. And they play the Wizards again tonight. And the Clippers play the Lakers tonight. And Nuggets play the Blazers. Wow. Nuggets just go all the way up to Portland. Dang, that sucks. But yeah, I thought the Clippers were gonna be worse too. Yeah, dude, the Pacers pick could go to top 5. That's what I'm saying. Like, it has nothing to do with how good the Clippers are. It has everything to do with how bad or how good the Pacers are. Let's go to Tankathon. Let's sim it. So right now, yeah, they up 2 spots. The Pacers have tied for the second best odds. So it keeps flip flopping. Yeah. So it's money Kamara Glazer. I love that I'm saying the whole thing. That's so funny. If let's just see right now. So sim. So you see if it goes in this range. Oh, I only want the. Yeah. If it goes 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, or 9th pick, it goes to the Clippers, as we can see here, right? So we sim. It fell to the 5th, even though they have a 52% chance at getting a top 4 pick, which is where they would get the pick. Yeah, so we can keep simming. They're probably going to get the 3rd pick, so then it goes to Indiana. 6th pick, it goes to us. 4th pick, it goes to Indiana. Probably they get the number 1 pick. 6th pick goes to us. So yeah, it's going to be really interesting. Let me know what you guys think about that. Because I mean, it is such. I've never seen a pick situation like this before. Like that. It is so fascinating, and especially because it's my team. So Jokic is bad yet again. He might be washed at 31 chosen, bro. Okay, hold on. He did get blocked by freaking old fart Brook Lopez at the end there. I mean, that was pretty bad. That was pretty bad. Is he washed? Because he was having an insane season to start the year, right? I mean, he was going dummy. He's still almost 30, 12, and 10. We'll say 29, 12, and 10. I think, is he ineligible already for MVP odds? Or is he still one game away? I can't remember what he is. I don't remember. But yes, I wanted Washington to win last night, so then I wanted Indiana to win last night, so then they would jump up and move this around. These last 8 games have been rough. Yeah, I mean, they're not. What are they in this? They're 4-6 in their last 10. Ooh, oof. We looked at this yesterday. They have more home games than away games left, so that should help their. That should help their situation a little bit. He won game away, but I think he's terrible. Doesn't matter. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, but is Shea having that good of a season? Because in my mind, it's like the MVP race went from being so good at the beginning of the year to like so mid now. Because in my mind, let me know what you guys think about this. Personally, if the MVP is on like, oh, the reason he's here is because he's leading the league in scoring, and his team is the best record in the NBA. That's not the case anymore. Like his team is going to finish. I think they already have as many losses as they did last year, right? I think they won 68-14 last year. Yeah, 68-14 last year. So now they're already 42-14. So in my mind, they're going to have a worse record, and he's not leading the league in scoring either. So like, who wins the MVP? I would rather give it to Jokic. If the Nuggets can finish top 3, which they can, and the Spurs are closing in on number 1 seed, by the way. If the Thunder don't get the 1 seed, Shea doesn't win the MVP. There's no way. You give it to Jokic, he gets his 4th. Yeah, they're bad at home. I don't know what the 15-11 at home and 20-10. Maybe you do. Maybe you're right. Maybe they do want more away games, but they have more home games left. So I don't really know, but this is tightening up here. The Spurs being 2.5 games away from the Thunder is not good, because the Thunder could lose that 1st seed, and at that point, the Spurs could go to the finals. Very realistically, because they've waxed the Thunder all season. I mean, what do we do at that point? Do you guys think Spurs can go to the finals? Cade for MVP? I'm a Pistons fan, but his stats not like that compared to Shea. Oof. Cade, I mean, let's look at Cade's stats. Good win, by the way, last night, dude. Shout out Chosen, shout out the Pistons, bro. You guys waxed the Knicks, which is funny because you guys lost to the Knicks in the playoffs. In was it 6 games? It was 6 games, right? So Cade for MVP. I'm not mad at that, man. Let me know what you guys think about that. Pistons have less losses than the Thunder. Yeah, they do. Yeah, the Pistons are the number 1 team in the NBA. So that's my point. How do you go back-to-back MVP if the 1 year you're good? In my mind, you got to be better the next year, or just as good and the competition gets worse, which is the case right now where the competition is maybe a little bit worse. But if you're not the best team in the NBA and the Pistons have more wins than you, which is crazy, by the way, actually. I didn't think about that. Yeah, they're straight up better win percentage. Wow. And the Pistons are on a 4-game win streak. Yeah, that's fascinating. So, who wins MVP? Let's look at Cade's numbers. Who do you guys have winning the MVP? I mean, because Cade, we'll have to check like what the ladder is. I don't know how many people would vote for him because I mean he's been good. 25, 6, and 10, we'll call it. He's missed a lot. He's missed, what is that, 7 games? That's not that much actually. He's only missed 7 games. Yeah, who's your guys' MVP? Does it get updated today? I think it gets updated today. Shea's number 1, 32, 4, and 6. Jokic 28, or let's go 29, 12, and 10. I mean, that you if the Thunder get the 2nd seed and the Spurs pass them, and the Nuggets get the 3rd seed, you have to give it to Jokic. You have to give it to Jokic. And now Shea's gonna be injured, right? So miss at least one more week. If they miss another week, how many games they lose? We'll have to look at their games and stuff. I want Luka to win. But even with another scoring title, he may not get it. They're probably just gonna have to reward it SGA again. See, if they give it to SGA, it's gonna be fraud city. Look at Jokic's stat line. Like, if anything, okay, this is really interesting because the Thunder could. What's their next games? Let's look at this. The Thunder's next couple games. Where do they? They play the Nets tonight. Okay, so they're fine. So they play Cleveland. So what's in the next week? Yeah, no, they're chalked, bro. In the next week that Shea's gonna be out, they play Brooklyn, whatever. Cleveland, who's probably gonna kill him. The Raptors, who've already beat him before, and they're playing in Toronto. They play in Detroit, and they play the Nuggets back at home next Friday. So, and then after that, you have Knicks, Thunder, Celtics, T-Wolves, Sixers, Celtics, Knicks, Pistons, Lakers. Oof, dude, that's a rough schedule. Let's look at strength of schedule again. Did I have it up? I did. OKC has the 2nd hardest schedule left. San Antonio has the 14th, so they're middle of the pack. So OKC plays Denver 3 more times. You play Cleveland once, you get that out of the way. Probably going to get belted on that one. Pistons twice, Celtics twice, Knicks twice, Lakers twice. Oof, duh. I mean, and the Clippers are. We're not talking about the Clippers. I just wanted to bring up the fact that we have the. And Toumani Camara Glazer, yeah, your boys. I don't know if you're a Portland fan, Toumani Camara Glazer, but your boys have the easiest schedule in the NBA, so that's why I'm worried about because we're fighting over here. But the Warriors also are losing, and I think the Warriors are 19th. Okay, not terrible. They play. Yeah, they got some fine teams. When does Shea come back from injury? They just said he's going to be. We just had it up, didn't we? Well, Abdomen will miss at least one more week. So technically, it says at least one more week. So he'll come back. Oh, and J-Dub's out. So J-Dub will be reevaluated in 2 weeks with a hamstring. AJ Mitchell, man, they're both out with abdominal stuff. So J-Dub's out until, what's the date? March, like 7th or something. 2 weeks from today. March 6th. I was so freaking close. Shea and AJ Mitchell, 1 more week. So that's at least February 26th. So next Thursday. So they'll have played. They play on a back-to-back too. They'll have played Brooklyn at home. That's whatever. Unless you lose to Brooklyn, then everything is gonna be sucky. You play Cleveland. You play the Raptors and the Pistons on back-to-back days on the road. And then the next day, the 26th, in between this, you're traveling and Shea can come back. So it's at least 1 more week. I'd be surprised if Shea goes on the trip with them if he plays, or if they just want to be back at home to play Denver on Friday. But I don't know, man. That's a rough schedule. Because then, I mean, who's San Antonio playing in that time? Could you lose 3 games? Not even Nuggets. You could lose 3 games in 4 days. And let's go to the Spurs. The Spurs in that time also play the Pistons. That's hilarious. They play the Kings, W, Pistons. That'll be interesting. And Raptors. Man, they play the Pistons. What the heck? And the Nets. Okay, so they have the same schedule. I don't know. And the Spurs have everybody, as far as I'm concerned, right? Can I have freaking type? Oh my gosh. Oh, Mason Plumlee's hurt. Yo. Yeah, okay. So that's what that's looking like. That's wild. That's wild, dude. Luka is having a really good scoring season, but that's just Luka. 32, 8, and 8 is almost 33, 8, and 8 is wild. Cade's at number 4. Wemby's at 5. Wemby just has missed a lot of games, and he's not. I mean, once Wemby gets his scoring locked in, and he's averaging 28, 29 points per game, you need to kind of average around the 30 mark, at least above 20, at least above 28 to win MVP in my book. I don't know what you guys feel about that. Luka's number 3, and the Lakers are 5th. Lakers schedule, they have the 10th hardest schedule. So, man, that's really interesting. That is really interesting. Really, really interesting. It is so wild to look at the teams that could shift. Dude, I'm telling you, bro. Oh, let me fix. I'm telling you, man. I don't know about you guys. I think that if San Antonio gets the first seed in the West, they're going to the finals. Because their biggest competition is the Thunder, but they've completely just destroyed them this entire season. 4-0, right? Go to the playoffs and you get a home court advantage in San Antonio with like Wemby healthy, especially if the Thunder are kind of like not fully healthy. Ooh, oof. You know, not fun. Because then you get the 1 seed in San Antonio. That's even if the Thunder make it past all these other teams like Denver. We could see OKC Denver second round. Right? If they drop. So that's crazy, man. Who do you guys think goes to the finals? Chosen. The Giannis or Wemby would be disgusting. It would be diabolical, even. Because if Wemby goes to the finals at age 23, what is he, 23 or 22? I think he's 22. Is he 22 years old? He just turned 22. I mean, what? I got to see Wemby in a playoff setting to see if he's not a playoff dropper. True. And someone mentioned that. People online are talking about, okay, I saw this like Twitter thread, and they were like, okay, here's all the people who, all the past teams have gone to, that went to the finals, had lost in the conference finals or something before. The Spurs have not had that. They did not make the playoffs last year. Not even close. They were like the 13th seed, I think. Which is crazy. The 13th seed, but that's how good Wemby is, right? He's 22 years old. He not even like 22, turning 23 like next month. He was 21 at the beginning of the year and turned 22 3 weeks into the year. Like a month ago. 22 years old. Ridiculous. That's crazy talk. So, yeah, man. So I gotta lean back for this. We could have a crazy, 2.5 games back is nothing. Especially if the team above you is not playing well. That's the same situation with my Clippers, where we're looking at the Warriors. Steph Curry's out for 10 days. He's being reevaluated in 10 days, and then we'll see if he's healthy even after that. Jimmy Butler's out for the season. They're only, I think, a game and a half ahead of us now. And so then they lose, they drop down. We go up. You know, It's the same situation with the Thunder. The Spurs are healthy and they're winning. The Thunder play a lot of hard teams, dude. They might actually lose 3 in a row. And then that's the other thing is, if they lose that, do they snatch their chain back? Do they win those? Do they win more games? I don't know. I have no idea. Oh, dude, could you imagine? Oh, Clippers get the 7th seed, and the Thunder drop, and then we get Thunder Clippers first round matchup 2-7 seed, with the fate of the universe on the line. Not really, but I mean that's basically how it feels like since we've given them everything that they own, right? That's crazy, dude. That's nuts. Who do you guys think is actually going to win? Let's talk about the East. Because the East, I know we've got Chosen as a Piston fan. Can the Pistons go to the finals? Let's talk about that. Because that's the same thing. We're talking about the Spurs, talking about the Pistons. The Pistons lost in the... They lose in the first round last year? Was that a 4-5 matchup or 3-6? It was a 3-6. So they lost in the first round last year. So if we're going by the standards of we need to see if people are like playoff droppers, or by the standard of they need to go to the conference finals or something before they go to the finals, just like which was proven with Halliburton and the Pacers. They got to the finals, lost to the Celtics. Celtics go in and they win the championship, whatever, right? Yeah, first round. So that like, can the Pistons... Like, it would make more sense theologically from what we're talking about from the Knicks, that the Knicks lost in the conference finals last year. Pacers are out. Pistons are the top seed, just like the Cavs were last year. Cavs are probably back. That'd be interesting because the Cavs lost in the conference finals. No, Cavs lost in the second round last year. But I think that they're, well, what do we think about that? Do the Cavs actually have a shot? Like, who is coming out of the East? My pick all year was the Knicks. They win the in-season tournament, and you're like, dude, this is fire. They're playing really, really well. They add Jose Alvarado. They add Jeremy Sohan. Right? They've got good players. Jalen Brunson, they're not like extremely hurt like the rest. Some of these other teams are. Who is coming out of the Eastern Conference? Because the Pistons, like, I don't know, man. I really like the Pistons. And it's also shedding some light on the situation to see that now they are the best team in the NBA in terms of wins and losses. That's kind of crazy. I was not expecting that to happen. But the Thunder just keep losing. As long as the playoff hard doesn't go into effect, Cavs could go that far. Like, Toumani Camara fan. I just called you fan. You are Toumani Camara Glazer. I'm sorry. When you say Cavs could go that far, do you mean like to the finals? Because, first of all, James Harden in the finals. Sign me up. Sign me up for James Harden in the finals. I'm a West Coast boy through and through. Every Western Conference team I'm like, dude, I know even though Dallas is gonna get smacked by Boston, I'm rooting for Dallas. You know, I'm going for OKC. Okay, last year was a little more even, but you put James Harden in the playoffs in the East. I don't care who comes out, dude. Spurs Cavs finals would be wild. Mobley Allen against Wemby. We should talk about like what are our favorite. Just throw logic out the window. What's our favorite like finals matchups potentially? Because that would be fun, dude. That'd be really fun. Spurs Cavs would be crazy. What do you guys think? Who's going to the finals? Spurs Cavs would be legendary. Toumani Camara Glazer, 100%. I mean, you could say, well, that's the thing. You know why it's crazy? I gotta sit up for this. You know why it's gonna be crazy? If it's Spurs Cavs either Wemby gets a ring or James Harden gets a ring. Dude, imagine James Harden with the ring. The D-Wade conversations are over. At 36 years old, you're like low-key leading a team. That's how good he is he could still be like the leading scorer on this team. Or facilitator, everything. He's doing both now. He's really good at both. Bro, James Harden with the ring and an MVP, the D-Wade conversations are over. Because then if Harden wins that ring, unless he's carried by Mitchell, does Harden win Finals MVP? Like, we have some nasty conversations if the Cavs get to the finals. I kind of almost want that now. That would be insane. Oh my gosh, could you guys imagine that? But Wemby winning a ring at 22, is that like youngest Finals MVP in X amount of years? We look that up. Who's the youngest Finals? Because he'd be 22 years old. Okay, obviously Magic is the young. I don't even know how I mix those guys up. Yeah, I almost said it again. Magic is the youngest Finals MVP at 20 years old. Kawhi Leonard at 22 and Tim Duncan at 22. So he'd be the third Spurs guy to win a championship and Finals MVP at age 22. That's wild. Who are the top? Magic Johnson again. Kawhi, Timmy, Kareem. So he'd be the second youngest because his birthday's in January. Monica Marglazer, you're ahead of me, bro. You know what other two Spurs, one young I almost had a stroke. You know what other two Spurs players won Finals MVP at very young age? Yes. Kawhi Leonard. So he'd be younger than Kawhi and Duncan. Which is kind of insane. Ooh. It's snowing like crazy. And I just got both of my classes canceled today. Ooh, we got class canceled, boy. Give me claps in chat. We got both classes canceled. I got nothing today, basically. Nothing. Except for recording members only podcast. So if you are not a member, consider clicking the join button after you click subscribe. It's $2 a month, and it supports just directly me, and it's just me talking to the members. Just extra content if you like what I got going on. Members only streams in the future, stuff like that. So go check that out. But that's all I'm going to be doing today. So that's going to be fun. And I don't have to leave stream at any point, really. So heck yeah. So youngest Spurs Finals MVPs, or youngest Finals MVPs, Wemby would be right here because he'd be like 22. Magic was 22 in almost 300 days. So that's like 22 in 10 months. Wemby would be like 22 in like 5 months. So he'd be the second youngest Finals MVP winner. What about the oldest Finals MVPs? Kareem at 38 years old. He won Finals MVP at 38 years old. What was he averaging that run that he won Finals MVP at 38 years old? I thought it was looking going to be like LeBron, but LeBron in 2020 was what? 36? So that's not, technically he was 35. He turned 36 later that year. He was, hold on, 38 years old. Let's go to the playoffs. Playoffs, championship, 30. Whoa. He was 37 years old. He averaged 22, 8, and 4. That's it. Man, people forget this boy has 6 rings. 38 years old. He was 37 years old. This place said 38 years old. Bruh. All right. 37 years old. That's crazy old, bro. 37. So James Harden, how old is James Harden? James Harden is 30. Bro, he would turn 37 like right after. Oh. Yeah, he would turn 37 right after the finals. Dang. I'm pushing for Spurs Cavs now, man. That's sweet. Spurs Cavs would be crazy. So yeah, that's the thing. I don't know where Chosen is if he's still Chosen if you're still in chat. Let's get the resident Pistons fan Chosen in chat. How realistic is it the Pistons go to the finals? Because we just talked about that same rule. Let me get back here. We talked about that rule where it was like, hey, you need to lose at a high level before you get to a higher level. So by that standard, they lost in the first round. And so then they need to lose the first round so they can get to the second round, and so on and so forth. Apparently, that's what I'm saying. But then again, there's that like Cat interview where he's talking and they asked him the same thing, and he's like, "So we got to lose before we can be better." And I was like, I agree with that, but also I don't. Like, if anybody's gonna break that narrative, it's gonna be Wemby, where they're just gonna go 13 seed to the finals just immediately, right? Because that team is that good. There's also, while you guys respond to me in chat, let's actually do this. Let's look. We've got 27 games left of the season. Let's look and see. My metrics for who actually is a contender is based on basically strictly top 10 offensive and defensive rating. If you're a top 10 in both, you're a legit contender. Let's go see who's top 10 in both. Offensive rating. I think we did this a little bit ago. So Denver's number 1, Boston, New York, OKC, Cleveland. Oh, see, they're right there. Cleveland and San Antonio are both in top 10, but they need to be top 10 in defense. So the Hornets are number 10. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Dude, I saw a stat where it was like their lineup with LaMelo. Yeah, it was LaMelo. Is it their starting lineup? LaMelo, Con, B. Mills, Bridges, and Diabate is like 130 offensive rating. It's the Hornets are going to be, this playoffs could be electric, dude. And the Clippers are right there too. Clippers need to get top 10 so we can be contenders. Okay, so the only teams that are, let's see, who's top 10? So let's look at Denver. Is Denver in the top 10 on defense? No. So they're not on it. Boston top 10 defense. Yes. So Boston is a real contender. They're top 10 in offense and defense. Is New York? No, they're at 12. Interesting. OKC, yes. So OKC's a contender. Cleveland. No. Yes. Cleveland. Number 10. So they're top 10 in both. Cleveland, San Antonio. Yes, easily. Wow. Minnesota. Yes. So that's 5 teams. Houston. Wait, nope. Houston. Yes. So that's 6 teams. Detroit. Yes, 7 teams. And Hornets, there's no way. Hornets are like... Did I skip them? Are they higher? No, they're 17. Okay, not terrible. There's 7 actual real deal contenders. So it's Boston, New York. Was New York in there? No, New York wasn't in there, right? It was Boston, OKC, Cleveland, San Antonio, Minnesota, Houston, Detroit. And then we missed out on Denver, New York, and Charlotte out of the top 10. Those are some good teams. So we got 7 actual contenders. Who's in the East? It was Boston, yes, and Cleveland. Ooh, Boston and Cleveland in the conference finals. First of all, here's another narrative, another storyline. Jaylen Brown going to the finals without Tatum. We're gonna have some conversations. We're gonna have some necessary conversations about Jaylen Brown, who, when he won his Finals MVP, everyone was like, Should have been Tatum, but Tatum didn't play well, but you should just give it to the best player on the team regardless, which I low-key agreed with. But Jaylen Brown, if they goes the conference, even the conference finals, this Celtics team is just a solid, they're good franchise. I mean, it's the Celtics, bro. They got good front office, good head coaching. They got themselves a big man. So, yeah. Oof. Wowza. Right? I don't know, man. This whole talk about the finals is going to be fun. So right now where we're sitting, let's recap. Right now where we're sitting is Thunder dropping the first seed of the Spurs. The Pistons potentially getting the number 1 seed in the NBA, the best team. And the Cavs potentially coming out of the East because, like, Toumani Camara, was it? Who said that? Yeah, Toumani Camara Glazer said, as long as the playoff harden doesn't go into effect, Cavs go that far. And the other thing with the Cavs, I need to see more from Mobley. If you're a number 2 overall pick in a former draft, you can't just be defense only. You got to score 25 points per game. And you can have Harden help with that, right? You got Donovan Mitchell. Jalen Tyson was, freaking sweet for him, right? Evan Mobley, you got to step up. And the defense has got to step up. So you're a top 10 offense and a top 10 defense. And that is going to, and then we got to continue to flush that out with some time. Let's wait a little bit. Because, the Cavs offensive rating could go even higher with James Harden on it, right? And then, who else is really affected by that? The Clippers could jump into top 10, close to both, but maybe them tanking so much for the beginning of the season. So it's it's kind of relative, but it's also pretty secure. We just named those teams. The Rockets could go to the conference finals. You get Rockets Thunder against an injured OKC team, Rockets could beat that team. So, but then there's also Denver. And then you never know. Ant-Man in the playoffs is crazy. Luka in the playoffs. You do not want to be on the wrong side of Luka in the playoffs. The West is going to be a bloodbath, especially because you got the Clippers who are surging at the 8th seed. And we're kind of forgetting about the Suns, but I feel bad because the Suns are good, but no one was expecting the Suns to do this anyways. And so I feel like we're talking about the playoffs. I'm like, hey, this is the big boy talk, actually. Maybe you guys don't deserve to be there. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I feel a whole ton for the Suns because they're good. They're very good actually. But yeah, Clippers are a game and a half back from the Warriors, and not only they are 4.5 games back from the Suns. So yeah, man, this is crazy. Good playoffs, man. We talked about the Pistons game already. So Pistons completely destroyed the Knicks. Cade had 42. What was it? Something crazy. Something crazy, man. Oh, let me lean back for a sec. What do you guys think about the tanking? Let's yap. What do we think about tanking? This is the end of stream where I talked about the stuff I want to talk about, and I'm just gonna yap with chat. What do we think about the tanking? What do we think about the draft? Did you guys see Adam Silver's new propositions? Or I don't know if they were not propositions to actually go into effect. Propositions to just be presented, I guess, to the Board of Governors. So I do like some of them. One of them, I like a team can't draft back-to-back top 4 picks. And here's why. Is because that kind of is a hot take online because people don't like that one. But I really like that one because I'm in the camp of overall quality of a franchise, or the quality of each franchise brings up the quality of the league. But when you have a team like the Kings, and the Kings have not had a good draft pick in have not had a really high draft pick. Have they had a number 1 pick in a minute? I don't know. They get Marvin Bagley. Let's say that happens again. If you drop top 4 and you don't hit on the top 4, that says more about your skill issue to be able to draft top 4 than it does about the system itself. If you can't get a good hit in the top 4, you're not going to get a good hit not in the top 4. The 3 best players in the league, Giannis, Shea, and Jokic, were all drafted way outside of the top 4. So the top 4 doesn't really matter, but it does potentially spread out the level a little bit. And here's why: because the Lakers and Celtics in 2016 and 2017, they've had back-to-back top 4 picks, 16 and 17. Celtics got Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum in back-to-back drafts. That's a good team capitalizing on that fact. Now, if that isn't a thing, let me finish. Lakers got Brandon Ingram and Lonzo Ball, right? In that same, so those are 2 good franchises having back-to-back top 4 picks, and they hit on both of them. And whatever. The Celtics, well, the Lakers actually won a championship before the Celtics did in that aspect, where they traded Alonzo and whatever to New Orleans, get AD, bring LeBron. That happens, boom, championship, right? So if that doesn't happen, Jason Tatum and Brandon Ingram go to different teams, and then we don't. That changes the course. The Celtics don't get another championship in this timeline with Tatum and Brown, and the Lakers don't probably have enough assets to get LeBron and AD, for LeBron to want to come and AD to get traded logistically for. So that changes a lot. If you don't have the capabilities to draft well in the top 4 multiple times, you shouldn't have it anyways. And then the team goes, oh, well, we're really sucking now, and we don't actually have to tank because we suck so bad that we actually just can't win games if we tried. That evens that out just a little bit. And then if something is wrong down the future, you move. No, I don't want to do a bunch of fixes right now. You do one, and then you do another one. I think drafting top 4 back to back, or it's like the Pacers rule, you can't draft top 4 if you made a conference finals last year or something. And I was like, I don't know if I like that one as much, but it's interesting. Money Kamar Glazer, I don't mind most of those tanking rules, but get rid of the draft is a crazy idea. All the bad teams will never get good. Yeah, getting rid of the draft is ludicrous. There's no way that should happen. The NBA draft is one of the most fun, speculative things online outside of like trade deadline. That's like saying like, hey, trade deadline's over. Any team can just sign anywhere all the time. That's like the same thing. That doesn't make any sense. There's got to be a little bit of structure. I don't think the NCAA would like that either. Because some guys, this is a big thing. I learned this in my class. My professor used to write for Bleacher Report, and so he talked to a bunch of agents and stuff, and they told him, yo, if my guy doesn't go in the first round like he's projected and he slides into the second round, I'm calling teams telling them, don't take my guy, because then he won't be in a good contract, and he's a second round pick, and it doesn't work that well. They would rather go into, that's why there's some pretty good undrafted players. You go undrafted, you go work out for teams, you go, okay, Raptors need a point guard, you're a point guard, we're going to go work out Toronto, here, whatever, right? We're going to work out for those teams. And then you get signed with those teams, right? So that's why people call Austin Reeves not an actual undrafted player. But that's kind of what's happening. So it's like that ruins, like, I guess it's kind of already happening, but yeah, I don't know, man. It's, first of all, that's not every agent, but it is really interesting to see why taking is such a big deal. I don't think it is. There's got to be something with the viewership that we're not seeing, or ticket sales or whatever, but there's always been bad teams, and I feel like there's even been worse teams. Like, without Halliburton tearing his ACL and the Pacers getting completely thwacked with injuries, I don't think that they're going to be good, right? Like, they win games, especially next year. They're not going to be in this situation next year. Pacers are going to be out, whether they get a top 4 pick or not, right? But that's why I think that's really interesting. But then there's the Kings, who just perpetually suck. They've sucked my entire life. I made a short about it, and the short's actually kind of, is it getting some traction right now? Got up for 1,740 subs. We hit 1,740 subs today. Yeah, it's kind of getting some traction. 8.5K. Pretty good. Y'all will go crazy on the shorts, but the Pelicans have a good roster. I agree. People are calling, is it Joe Dumars is their guy? Joe Dumars, whoever's in charge, telling them, hey, we got an actual playoff team here. We just need a little bit more pieces. I agree with that. Trey Murphy, Herb Jones, Zion Williamson, Jeremiah Fears, Derek Queen. I love Derek Queen. Eves Missy. Like, they've got a good roster there. Think about it. The Jazz are not taking next year either. They're done. Mavericks, if they get a good pick, if they lose more, I mean, where do they need to lose to actually get to like a good pick? They currently are sitting average at the 7th seed. So they need to lose a lot more games actually to get up to, well, they're right behind Utah. But Utah's top 8 protected. So, dude, yeah, there's some interesting. Yeah, I think we get kind of like this amnesia about like every draft. Maybe we'll do that on Monday. Is we'll go through and look at, okay, who actually went, who was the top 4? Let's do that real quick. I got nothing to do. Let's do that real quick. Let's talk about that. We can do a more in-depth one on Monday. Let's do that real quick. Who went top 4 of the last, should we go 10 drafts? And how many actually good, I'm not talking just like all-star, how many guys changed that franchise's trajectory? Big word. So let's count how many guys. Do I want the ESPN one? Okay, that's fine. So, who changed the big word, trajectory of their franchise? Coop. Easily won. The rest of these 3 guys, you could say Khan. You could say all 3 of these guys, actually. Maybe not Dylan. Top 4. So this is a draft where actually the top 4 guys are the best. Yegor Demon probably could have gone higher. Ray Johnson's cool. Jeremiah Fears is cool. All these guys are good. My Milo Watch was a little too high. Derek Queen, good. Anybody here that's like balling? Yannick, my boy. Let's keep it very tight. Cooper Flag. One guy changed the trajectory of their franchise. And anybody in top 4. Steph Castle, for sure. Steph Castle, I would say Alex Sarr, just because the Wizards are so buns. So there's 3 guys. 3 guys in the past 2 drafts. Let's keep going. 2020. I did 23. Wemby. Ooh. Did Brandon Miller? I don't think so. I'm going to say Brandon Miller's like cool, but he didn't like, oh my gosh, he's goated. So 4 guys. That's Cooper Flag, Alex Sarr, Steph Castle, and Wemby. 22. Paolo, Chet for sure. Chet 1. Keegan Murray. See, we're already getting to some places where it's like, yeah, why are we complaining with the top 4 pick when the freaking Kings had a top 4 pick and they picked Keegan Murray? Like, why are we? You had Jaden Ivey, Ben Mathurin, Shaden Sharp, J-Dub, Jalen Duren, Christian Brown, Peyton Watson. Like, that's your fault. If you can't draft well in a top 4 once, you shouldn't get to do it again. Because you're just going to blow it up again, especially for the freaking Kings. So I'm going to say 5. Paolo, I'm going to hold on Paolo because they haven't done anything yet. Cade, for sure. Mobley, for sure. Scotty, for sure. That's good. Jalen Green, no. Scotty, yes. I would say he is the reason that they are. He is the core of why they're good. Evan Mobley, DPOY, good. Cade, good. So that's 8 guys in the past. Let me get. See, Patrick Williams for the Bulls is top 4. Ant, yes. LaMelo, yes. That's 10 guys in the past 5 drafts. 2019. Zion. Okay, now here's where. I mean, dude, DeAndre Hunter, number 4. I'm going to go Ja Morant. Zion hasn't done anything, so he didn't change anything. They could go, Zion get traded, and he did nothing for New Orleans. They did win a lot of playoff series. So I'm going to go, that's 11 guys. Go back to 2018. Top 4. Luka. Not for the Hawks, but for the Mavs. Yes, Luka for sure. Jaren. You could. Marco Fultz also. Okay, Jason Tatum, yes. See, look, Josh Jackson went number 4. Why are we so worried about, like, oh, you need as many top 4 picks as you can get? If you blow it, why would you blew it. Look, the Suns, you had D-Book. You drafted Josh Jackson and DeAndre Ayton back-to-back drafts. Look who we had on the board. Donovan Mitchell was on the board. Jared Allen, OG Anunoby, Kyle Kuzma. Like, there were some good players there. So that's 13 guys in the past. We'll go to the 10th draft, 2016. How many good guys in the top 4? Ben Simmons, Brandon Ingram, Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown is the only one. Boom. 14 guys in the past 10 drafts. That's about one guy per draft. One goated player per draft. In the top 4. Like, franchise-altering player. I don't know what you guys think about that, but that's why I'm like, if you can't nail that, a top 4, you shouldn't have multiple top 4s. Go get somebody later. The Suns had a lot of terrible lottery picks. Yes, they did. As a guy who grew up in Phoenix, yes, they did. A lot of my buddies are Suns fans and stuff. I was like, I vividly, I was like, you're taking Luka. Luka can play point guard next to D-Book, which is ironic given how that played out. That's hilarious. And they're, we got to get the guy who played at high school in Phoenix. He played at U of A, and now he's going to go to the Suns. I'm like, that's a great story, bro. You guys are still, they went to the finals. Like, they weren't bad, but Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic, Devin Booker. Oh my gosh. So, crazy situation. We'll talk more about this on Monday. Maybe we'll go really back and I'll like tighten it up. Like, I really think Cooper Flagg, this decade, it's Cooper Flagg, it's Wemby, and it's probably Ant and potentially LaMelo if the Hornets are still kind of doing this. And Cade, easily. So there's like 5 guys, 100% of the top 4 who like changed everything for their franchise. So we'll talk more about this on Monday. I've been streaming for almost an hour. Any other last questions? Anybody? This has been a dope stream. Talk about a lot. Any last questions? Fire them off. I'll wait a sec. We'll yap about it. Anything NBA. We'll yap about it. If not, I'll go about my day. And we'll be back Monday. So, anybody else? Also, appreciate all the love from Chosen and Kamara Glazer. Shout out you guys. It's been fun chatting and yapping. I stream every single day. For Wednesdays sometimes when we have a video going up on Wednesday. So good stream today, man. Anything crazy? Good hour-long stream. Love that. Love that. If not, we'll see you guys on Monday. All right, man. Well, I'm going to update stream a little bit. I'm going to take out this little sub goal because it's just broken because it only works for people who have like subs active or not active, like public. And so I'm like, we've definitely got more than 19 subs since I started streaming. And we are definitely closer than, I think we're almost at 200 away to 260 subs away to 2,000. So road to 2K. I'm going to go play some 2K, probably. Right. That's all I got for today, man. Hopefully y'all had a good week. Have a good weekend, bro. I'll be posted up with the shorts today and tomorrow. Like I said, members only podcast coming out tomorrow. If you want to join members only, it's only $2 a month. It supports me directly, and I get to interact directly with you guys. I'll be doing like a mailbagging on the thing. We can do members only streams. We'll do that in the future and stuff. That'll be fun. So we'll be back on Monday with another stream talking about what happened over the course of the weekend. If over the weekend the Thunder lose a bunch of games and the Spurs win those games, and then the Spurs are number 1 seed, we'll talk about that. A lot of fun, man. Appreciate the love. y'all on Monday. Peace out.